Hello. Hello. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Mindset Monday. How are we doing? Rena, Fakiha. Hey, Fakiha. Sunwise, hello. Anna, Olivia, Leah, Rachel, Lucid Fog, Naomi, Tiff, Tasya, Sana, hello. Emily, hi. Millie, hey girl. SG. You've never been to the beginning of a Monday. Well, hello, you're here. That's amazing. Solo, hello. G, hi, Sharon. Mona, hello. The Pop-In, or is that 5? Is that the Pop-In 5 or is it the Pop-Ins? Is it supposed to be like an S? I don't know. Because I just want to call it the Pop-Ins. Risha, hello. Katie, Leanne's back from her Disneyland trip. Matari, Lamia, Loretta, Brendan, Brandon, Antoinette, Tiny Luna, Monique, Hassan, hello. Annie, Dina with an I. Christina, Dina with an E. Delaney, hello. Black Lit Chick, hello. Elia, Urshka, Shantae, you stay. Oh, 2 Shantaes. Shantae, you stay. Tommy, Amanda, Hello Kitty's here. The pressure's on. Sarah, Moonchan, Roxy Poppins. Yes. Aaliyah. Fakiha says, love that you've branched out to more colors than black and pink. Oh, because it's Valentine's Day. It's the one time of year I wear red for February. Literally, when I found this shirt, this mesh one, I had to have my husband help me look for it. And he's like, where could it have been last? I was like, I literally haven't touched it for 1 year. He's like, okay, that makes sense. Because I bought it for a Valentine's photo shoot last year. And haven't touched it since. And here it is, a year later, coming back around on its anniversary. Ali, Sydney, we have so many people. I don't know how to say this one. Okay. I did all the attempts. Leaf, Ellen, Marta, Mama of 4 Wilsons. Oh, that's a lot of Wilsons. Love, Stephanie, Megan, Mona, Matari, Tiffany, Royal Rizzo's hello. Benazir, hello. TJ Naomi, hello. What did I do for Valentine's Day? I'm doing this so far. All I've done for Valentine's Day is take a shower, put on makeup, and sit in this chair. My husband got me, look at these little flowers he brought from our garden. How cute is he? And some chocolate. We might do something later. I don't know what we're doing though. Where does this want to be? I don't want to knock it over. Okay. Okay, so Anne. Okay, you can just say Anne for me. Okay, I'll remember that. F Dreamer, hello. Renee says, "Oh, you're sad your team lost Super Bowl. Sorry, I'm in LA, so I can't relate right now. I'm sorry." And really, I literally just watched the halftime show, which was great. And then there's that moment when you realize, like, when I was young, they put like the Rolling Stones and like Prince on, and it was like the old types. And then you're like, wait a minute, those people are all like 50, probably at least in their 50s, and we're the old stuff now. But that's cool because I hope the new generation saw what. I'm gonna throw a little shade here, but I'm just gonna do it. No offense. I hope they saw what rapping is supposed to sound like. You're supposed to be able to understand the words that you're saying. So That's my 2 cents as somebody that grew up in the 90s. Christina said, girl, you're still young. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate you. But that's like definitely the music that I, grew up listening to. So I was a kid in those days. Okay, so. Ooh, oh my God. Brandon says, literally won the lottery. Fuck yeah. Yes. My family did a bet and put money on the Super Bowl for closest person to guess final point scored. I know nothing about football and guessed 41. I intended to win and won. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it was so nice to see Mary. I'm going to be real. I literally cried the whole time through I cried the whole time through the halftime show because it gets me when I see people living their dreams. I'm getting it like teary-eyed already. Just like, I was just so proud of them and their performance was so good. They were all so flawless. Snoop was just so like, it was so effortless. He was just so like, my husband's like, he's probably performed this song so many fucking times, but obviously, clearly. But man, that was such a good super halftime show. And I guess cool because LA won and the rest of there was a football game maybe or something. Okay, I need to get my crystal. Thank you. Okay. Whew. Brendan says, next step, Mega Millions. Yes. Royal Rizos, what rappers am I throwing shade at? I will be 100% honest with you. I couldn't name. Like, I know who they are because I know their names because I'm on Instagram, but I couldn't name a song by a current rapper. I have no fucking clue. I'm not throwing shade at any one in particular, but like when I hear it, I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? You can't understand it. It all sounds the same. I know I sound old, but that's just, I mean, literally, like, I remember when I was a kid and my mom would listen to when like Biggie Smalls was on the radio and stuff, she'd be like, what is that shit? But I feel that way now that I'm older. I just can't get into it. And I just don't, I couldn't tell you a single name, couldn't tell them apart. If I tried, I don't know. It's nothing interesting. And I'm a musician. So I mean, I'm really not trying to be an asshole. I just like musically, I'm not into it. So if you came to hear my opinion on rap, do I like Doja Cat? I do like some of Doja Cat's songs. I do think that she is talented. I think she's a really great actress. As weird as that sounds, like she delivers. She like that girl like really performs well. I think like as a performer, I appreciate what she does. I guess I could say that. Okay, let's see. Can I say a word of abundance for you? Tomorrow's your birthday. Happy birthday tomorrow. Oh, Siri, what? Hold on.
Sorry, there's nothing to repeat.
Bitch, I wasn't talking to you, so I don't know why there would be. Get out of here. Oh, I can't stand her. Okay, what's next? Come on, focus. All right. Tiff says, you'd love to hear about the one-on-one giveaway I'm doing. Okay, so what that is that, Angie, thank you. Do I like Nikki? Yeah, I like Nikki. I don't really, I know Nikki's older, obviously, and she's obviously very talented. I don't really listen to a lot of the music of today, if you can't tell. Do I think she's talented? Yes, of course, obviously. Okay. Okay. We're talking about the giveaway thing. What that's going to be is, so last month it was Elena. I was just trying to see if I could see Elena in the chat. If you're here, if you don't mind, the episode hasn't come out yet. It's coming out the last week of the month, but the last podcast episode and the video of the month will be a one-on-one session that Elena won from Mindset Monday. And so we did a little giveaway. I picked a random animal. I put it in my notes app and I was like, okay, whoever guesses it. And then whoever guessed it won. So I'm going to do that again today. It's not going to be an animal. It's going to be something different. And basically, whoever guesses the thing first that I have on my notes app, you win. It's that random. But there are some parameters, okay? It's going to be a 20-minute one-on-one session via Zoom. You must be available on one specific day, which is it is March 1st. That's a Tuesday, between the hours of 12 and 4 p.m. Pacific. And the third most important is that it will be recorded, it will be on the podcast, and it will be shared. So you're consenting to have your story. Hi, Michelle. Have your story. Happy Valentine's Day on the web, right? It'll be on the podcast. It'll be on YouTube. So those are the deal. That's the parameters for entering my giveaway. So if you're not available at that time of day, if you don't consent to having it shared, please don't enter. And I mean that with love. So if you have something that's super personal, like I totally understand. I wouldn't want that on there either. Then, maybe save it for a personal one-on-one. But if you want to win the free giveaway, so that what I'm trying to do is help people. Something happens when people hear coaching, like in our lives, when we have our group coaching sessions and our live events, hearing other people talking about the same thing you're going through makes it less of a beast to deal with. So I'm trying to put more of the live coaching on the podcast and on the videos. So that's what this whole thing is about for the giveaway. So we'll run it here in a moment. Someone said leopard. It's not going to be an animal this time. It's going to be something different. But yeah, so thank you, Leanne. Yeah, so winner must be available March 1st, Tuesday, between the hours of 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. PST. It will be a Zoom chat, and it will be recorded, and it will be shared on the podcast and the YouTube channel. So if you know anything super personal, you probably would not want to share. But that's what we're giving away. Christina, how do you enter? It'll be here soon on the live in a few minutes. I've been yammering on about random shit for 13 minutes, so I'm going to answer some manifestation questions first. So generally, like in the middle of Mindset Monday is when I'll have it. And it's literally just, I'm going to think of a blank. Last time it was an animal. I'm not going to do an animal this time, but for example, last week it was an animal. I typed the word giraffe into my phone. I said, what's the animal? The first person to guess it. And I just showed my phone, and then that was it. It was really easy, really quick. It happened in like 5 seconds. It was really fast. So this time we're going to wait till like the middle of the show. And I'll pick something different besides an animal. And I'll let everybody know when it's time. And I'll also reiterate the rules and the parameters, okay? The prize is you get a 20-minute one-on-one session with me. But it is shared. So, if you're working on something that you are okay with helping others by, viewing you being helped, that's kind of the kind of idea behind it. Then enter. And if not, which I totally understand, if you're not comfortable with it, don't enter it. Okay, let's talk about some manifestation stuff. Dina. Oh yeah, Dina has to go work. I feel you, girl. I feel for you. We're going to miss you. We love you. Man, I remember working on Valentine's Day. So I love you, and I'm here for you. I'm in your heart. I'm in your head. I'm yelling at you from here while you're working with love, and we all got you. And you're going to make so much money tonight, and I'm so excited for you, and happy money night. Okay. Tite, how can you submit questions for me to answer same way you just asked that? Mama of 4 Wilsons, you have a question? That's same way you asked that right there. It's just randomly whatever my eyeballs like happen to latch onto is what I answer. Unless if you want a guaranteed question, I do take super chats and I will answer those. Anything that comes through as a super chat, I will answer for sure, 100%. Anything else I can't guarantee just because there's so many questions. I just don't see them all. I couldn't possibly. Okay. Yeah, and if I don't see your question, it's nothing personal, I promise. There's just no way. There's no way it could be personal. I just don't, I'm like, I see like white on blue screen or like white on black. I don't even really, the little thing is so small. I can't even really tell who's asking the question when before the words like catch my eye. Okay. Okay. Let's talk, ooh, it's 444. Thank you, Matthew. Okay. How come you can, Mama of Four Wilson says, how come you can manifest for my, maybe it's how come I can manifest for my family and friends and truly believe it even if they don't? Like it happened every time. Because in your reality, they're just projections of you. So you are already manifesting for them. You are manifesting them as it is. They're, again, they're a projection of you and your subconscious, your expectations. Check out my videos on Everyone Is You Pushed Out. So you can kind of start and like, I'll be real honest. My views on Everyone Is my views on Everyone Is You Pushed Out are based off of the way that Neville Goddard speaks about it and the way that I've heard Bashar speak about it. And then my understanding of quantum physics. And then just things I've been shown in meditation and understandings I've had and experiences I've had, things like that. So there are people that, again, the people I mentioned, obviously Neville and Bashar, who I say go to them to get the real knowledge. Cause I'm just telling you my interpretation of what they talk about. But you can go make your own, draw your own conclusions. I would suggest that just so it can really make sense for you. But people are going to do what you say they do. And if it happens every time, you're damn right it happens every time, because every time it happens, you say it happens every time, which means that you've now manifested another time in the future for it to happen. And so if your pattern is every time you see yourself manifesting something for someone else, you see, there it is again. I'm doing blah, 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 whatever. You're making yourself almost like a feedback loop of creating for other people through just your recognition of the fact that you did it. Because your thoughts and your sentences are always creating, your feet not creating. Creating in the sense that you would make a collage. Creating like a collage is a new piece of art, using other pieces of things, right? Like bringing other components together to make something new. Like that's how you're creating your reality in that sense, is like you're like hodgepodging it together kind of a thing. But you're kind of making it all happen, and it's doing what you say. Your sentences are always creating the future. So, or selecting the future, hodgepodging it together. What's the word I use? Collaging it together. So, if you're talking about what you've done, you're going to, here. Because a lot of the people like Tony Robbins and stuff, they talk about, if you only look at the past, you're limiting what you get to experience to what you've already experienced, right? You're limiting what is possible for the future if you only look at your past. And the reason why that is because if you're not open to new ideas or expecting new things to come to you, or letting go of the hard and fast rules that you've set for yourself, you're leaving yourself inside a box of which there's only so many manifestations or possibilities for a life that you're allowing yourself to experience. So you just kind of get stuck doing the same things over and over when you only look at your past, when you only look at, excuse me, what's been or what you had or what you did, what you didn't have, what wasn't good enough, what, all that other stuff. that's not, looking towards an optimistic future. You're just recreating more of the same BS for yourself over and over. Okay. I see some super chats coming through. Give me 1 second, because I see this question by Saksham. I just want to address this real fast, because you were saying you're a little confused about signs you get from the universe. Several other people are claiming some specific signs which you happen to receive, but still haven't reached your goal. Okay, so people are saying if you get these signs, then you'll get it. I like signs are what you make them. Everything is what you make them. So the bottom line is that your awareness of life is creating your next moment. So if you're in the space of, I'm confused, I think I'm getting signs, I'm trying to manifest, it's not working, that's what you're going to continue to see. You may see signs, they don't mean shit. You're on like a treadmill that's going nowhere. That's like what I'm hearing from your sentences. So I can just imagine like that's like, my initial thought off of your sentence that I hear has got to be similar to what the universe is thinking, because it's objective as well. And I'm objective. I'm just reading off of your sentence. And what your sentence tells me is you don't understand how it works. You're not getting what you want. You're just doing the same thing over and over, and you're listening to a bunch of advice and you don't know what to trust, right? So my answer to you is trust yourself, meditation, get a routine down, check out my 360 method, which you can use, you don't have to, but like this is how I control my thinking, which is, again, that's manifesting all day long, and how I coach my clients to control what they're doing with their manifestations. 360 method is my signature approach. That's a way you can do it. If you find your own way, that's awesome. But mine involves meditation, daily scripting, shit that brings me joy, that's doing things that naturally put you in a state of open flow with the universe. So you don't have to try to manifest, because when you're trying, clearly what you're saying is you don't have it. So there's a bunch of shifts that need to go on within your awareness to say, like, I don't need a sign. I mean, I get them, cool, that's fine, but I don't need a sign. I know it's unfolding. I'm always getting closer and closer. It's unfolding as we speak. And, everything always works out in my favor. Essentially, is like, that's the energy that you want to be giving out with your thoughts, not the stuff that you are saying with your thoughts. Okay. Super chat, super chat, super chat. Super chat. Super chat. Shantae, you stay. Thank you so much for the super chat. Is this just money for being here? I appreciate it. Do you have a question? Okay. Okay. Okay, Shantae, thank you. If you have a question, let me know. Antoinette, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Says, want him to spend Valentine's Day with me. All the signs are saying the third party is on their way out. How do I speed up the process? Okay, so if you need to speed it up, that's where you're wrong, right? You don't understand that you already are love. You already have your Valentine, because how do I explain this? I'm trying to figure out what's this visual that I'm seeing and how to put words to it. It's like there's a Rolodex of realities you have access to, and the one you keep talking about is the one you get. And if you want to speed it up, you need to quit saying there's anything to speed up. Because think about it like this. If you actually were on the date, the last thing you'd want is to speed it up. You'd want it to last as long as possible. You would want, like, if it was going the best way possible, best case scenario, you would have the time of your life with this person. The last thing you would want is to speed it up. You would want to soak up every minute of it, every ounce of it. You'd be reveling in it, because it would feel so great to just drop the defenses, drop the resistance. I wish I could remember who said this, but somebody was saying that being in love is just, it's the closest you get to who you actually are, because all the resistance is down. All the, it's just that free feeling of like, I can just be, and you're like allowing yourself to experience all of that freedom and flow and love that already exists within you, that you're blocking yourself with by saying things like, I need to speed up love when you already have and are it. So if you want to choose a Valentine with your person and the clock is ticking away, because I'm on the West Coast and it's 2 p.m., right? I don't know where you are, but I'm just saying, I see where that anticipation could be growing, but that's exactly why they're not here. So again, you got this Rolodex. Hold on, let me pick a different word because I'm just realizing like people probably have not everybody knows what a Rolodex is anymore. What's another word I can use? Vending machine. How about vending machine? Okay. You have the vending machine. Let's say that it has like 1,000 choices, which in reality there's like way more, like quadrillions of choices. But they all cost $1. You have $1 in your hand and you can pick any of them. Or maybe you have just an infinite stack of dollars and you just keep feeding it over and over and you keep picking, fucking F1, fuck one, number one, fucking no. Right? When you don't want that, you want you want D1, right? You want D5. You know what I'm saying, right? You're putting your dollar in and you keep picking the wrong one because you keep talking about the wrong thing. And you need to be all about love, soaking it up, enjoying the moment, reveling in the amazing feelings that are already flowing within you, because that's how you push D1 or D5 or whatever we're talking about. You know what I'm saying, right? A1, let's just call it A1 and just not get weird. A1, that's when you want, and that's what you're going to push, and you're only going to push that. And like, you have to have faith in the vending machine to push A1 and know that that's what you're going to get. And it's going to spiral out a little thing and drop down into the tray. And you also have to know and understand that the vending machine is not going to give you A1 if you are pushing F1, no matter how bad you want it. It can't care. It cannot care for you. It just can't. It's not built like that. The universe is not built with that emotional empathy, right? I don't think. It doesn't seem like that, because when you're begging and crying and pleading, it's like it wants you to surrender and then you get what you want. So I'm guessing, so maybe surrender, then just let go. Listen, Valentine's Day, I'm going to have the best Valentine's Day. I don't care who I'm with, period. And then start right now. That's to me the fastest way to speed up the process. And then as you're raising your vibration and feeling better or whatever, visualize the who cares, we're not even going to mention that person. Whoop, bye, send them away, not even existent. And then you can start bringing in visualizations of you and your person. But that's a great part of your Valentine's Day, but it's not the reason why it's amazing. It's amazing because it's amazing, period. Like changing the way you're talking about it, changing the way you're expecting. Angie, thank you so much for the super chat. And she says, I manifested my SP back. He proposed me exactly the way I visualized, and I lost him again. Do I still have the power to get him back, or do I just let it go and wait for it to come back? Angie, okay, so the deal with you, Angie, is can you tell me your birthday, Angie, please? Type in the chat your birthday, Angie, please. Miss Angie. Type in the chat your birthday. Angie says, you hope your super chat gets noticed. All super chats get noticed. I read them in order, and if there's one before yours, then I will notice it as soon as I'm done answering the one before it. And it is your turn, and here we are. So no need to fret. But I'll let you know right now. Like, if you're giving me that kind of energy, I can only imagine what kind of energy you're giving your SP. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know? And I mean it with love. Like, I appreciate you. Thank you for sending in a super chat. I absolutely appreciate your generosity and thank you for it. But I can't not. Yep. And I see you typed your birthday twice in the chat, and I can see them both. And it's, there's an urgency with you, or a desperation. I will use that word. And I mean this with love. that like it's very apparent just off of what you're doing here in the chat. I can only imagine how it feels in your relationship. So the deal with manifesting your SP back and everything worked out and you said, I lost him again. And then you're wondering, do I still have the power to get him back or do I just let it go, wait for it to come back? Here's the deal. Of course you have the power to get him back. You just let it go and wait for him to come back. Yeah, but in the meantime, you need to fix what's going on within you that is causing you to have this constant back and forth in your relationship, because that's the real issue. The real issue is that, for one, you have, and I mean this with love, so don't shy away. I want to help you, but like, your energy feels desperate. It feels kind of frantic. It feels needy. And this is the opposite of keeping a relationship energy. So I don't know exactly what happened with you, but I can just bet, because, just because I just coach so many people, that you manifested your person back again. They came back. And as soon as they were back, or at some point after they came back, your fears of when are they going to leave again? Or what if I'm not good enough still? Or what if there's still someone else? Or what if blah, 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 comes back in? Comes back in. And then that's what manifests them away again. And so your pattern is going to be to push them away. So where's the chicken or the egg, right? Because this is like a chicken and egg thing happening over and over and over again. Let's say we'll start at a low. We feel low about our situation. We don't like where we're at. And at some point we have enough and we're like, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to get myself back. So we bounce ourselves back up. We get to this high point. We start working on ourselves. What the key is, right? We start loving ourselves, putting ourselves first. That energy attracts them back. They come back. Our fears are triggered again. We start entertaining our fears. That energy pushes them away, digs us into a hole. We get to the bottom. We live there for a while. Something within us says, you know what, fuck that. I'm coming back. I'm snapping back. We fucking snap back up. We start working on ourselves, loving ourselves, putting ourselves first, which is what I said it already, the key to everything again. That energy attracts them. They come back in. The second they come back in, you start worrying about and fearing, when are they going to go away again? What if I'm not good enough this time? They feel that energy. They push away. You feel down at your bottom. Do you see what happens? This is why. So you have to step in there at some point and stop the cycle. It's the only way that I know of. And so maybe there's more, and I don't know everything. This is just what I know. This is what I know. So, what I know is that in my professional and personal opinion is, if you do not step in between one of those or all of those areas and choose how you respond and choose what your thoughts do when they come through, you kick into even more satisfaction, self-love, abundance, appreciation, joy, and keeping the thoughts away from the doubts, the worries, the insecurities, and noticing those things for what they are, recognizing doubt for doubt. You could get rid of a doubt, send one away, and then another one will just pop through about something else, because the pattern of doubt and listening to the doubt is what is alive, not the thing that you think you're worried about. So, Elena, there you are. I'm going to get back to your question in just a minute. Elena, can you please tell people how your experience was when you had your coaching with me for the podcast episode? I know it hasn't come out yet, but we're giving another one away this week. And I just wanted to see if you could let them know what your experience was like having that session with me last couple weeks ago. And welcome. Okay, back to this question. So Angie, for me, my question for you, what's more concerning to me is got him back, got exactly what I want, lost him again. Should I just wait for him to come back? You know he's coming back, right? Like the pattern up and down, that part is kind of like, or the back and forth, like that part is certain for you. It's the staying and the consistency that is uncertain. And so that's where you need to apply your focus, the 360 method, wherever you're doing your affirmations and stuff, and like looking at where are your thoughts of losing, not being good enough, longevity, things like that, because that's where, just off of your one question, I can see where those things might come through. Excuse me. Okay. Marnie said, where did that first? Okay. Only just popped on, but my one-to-one coaching with Roxy was amazing. Roxy picked up on things I wasn't even aware I was saying that I needed to change and was so kind and non-judgmental with you. Thanks, Marnie. I appreciate you. It was so nice to talk to you. And I love talk, when it's somebody that I've talked to on the internet for a while and we get to have a one-on-one, it's very exciting. But thank you for saying that. And I'm glad that you were able to get some good value from that. Naomi says, someone in the Facebook group said to me, don't affirm that your SP comes back, affirm that you've always been together. Exactly. Yeah, that's perfect. So we got a couple people from the Facebook group here. And if you're not in Black Moon Society, you can head over to Facebook and join our Facebook group and get some support there. Or you can also join the forum on my website, roxytalks.com/forum, to find people just like you who are manifesting and going through the same stuff. And you guys can help each other going through this stuff and offer nuggets of advice and things like that. Any advice on how to manifest a Valentine in the few hours left? I answered a similar question like 10 or 15 minutes ago. It was like a specific one, but the concept is still the same. Alchemy with Ella. Thank you so much for the compliment. Okay. The virtual knockout. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, why do you think people are pitting law of attraction versus law of assumption? Aren't they both working anyways? Yeah, they are both working anyways. I think the reason why they're pitting them against each other is because they don't truly understand all of it. And I also think that, like, when I first got into the manifesting world, I started with The Secret. That was the first thing I read. And that's very attraction based, which is all about feeling. Whereas law of assumption is about the thinking part of it. And what I understand about manifestation so far in my journey, which I'm always learning. Oh, important. I have to say this. I found out that book, that Michael Talbot book, is not a textbook. I've been calling it a textbook. It's not a textbook. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not giving you false information. I thought it was. It's not a textbook. Okay. It has a single author. So it's a man. And what he did was he read a bunch of like experiments, quantum physics experiments and papers and findings. And then he compiled the findings into non-sciencey terms, basically is what it is. So just wanted to clarify that. Okay. Anyways, so in my understanding of all of this and like the nature of reality and how all this works, to me, what it seems like is that the thoughts are doing the conceptual. So the thoughts are doing the picking of what you get. And the feelings are doing like the attracting. So Dr. Joe Dispenza, I say this every week pretty much. Dr. Joe Dispenza says the brain produces an electrical charge. The thoughts produce an electrical charge, which sends out the messages that correspond to the realities. The body produces a magnetic, the feelings, interchangeable, produce a magnetic field, which draws things to you. So the way that I interpret that is that your brain is sending out the signals again for the realities that it's picking. And then, the way you feel is informing your thinking. And it's also a part of whether or not you stay within your chosen reality, because those feelings are, again, influencing your thoughts. But I guess it also draws these experiences to you or draws you to them. So they're all at work together. If someone is saying this or that, this or that, if they're saying this or that, I would say that it's like, There was in the beginning when I first started my channel and stuff, I definitely like prioritized the thoughts over the feelings. But now, as I'm growing as a person and a coach, I understand, how important it is to process the feelings while you're doing this work, because they just build up. They don't really go anywhere anyway. So, and again, they affect the way you think. Unless you're super duper duper trained, aka 360 method. So, anyways, yes, they are both working. And if someone's pitting them against each other, I would say they have a lot of fun. More to learn. And not that I don't have more to learn. I'm not saying I know more than them. I just think that maybe they don't see the whole picture, maybe. And this is not against anybody. I don't watch anybody else's channels. If I watch them, you hear me talk about them. I say their names all the time. Lewis Howes, Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins, Kyle Cease, Lisa Nichols. So my stomach is always growling. I need to eat before I get on this. Okay, so Casey J, thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate you. Should I manifest a guy in my life who I'm into or someone new? Manifesting someone who has less resistance, but I don't want to wait to meet new people, especially since I don't have to, since I'm the creator of my reality. Oh my God. And then I see a text, like a way older chat from Brendan says, me not knowing what a Rolodex is. Exactly. So I'm glad that I changed that analogy. Okay. Anyways, they got rid of that shit. They found an easier system, I guess. Okay. So what I hear impatience. Like that's the one word that's coming up to me after reading your question. Is oh, Tiffany. Okay, I see super chat, Tiffany. I'll do that one in just a moment after I do Casey's. It sounds like impatience. I don't want to meet someone new. I don't want to wait to meet someone new. Implying that it could take long, and there's less resistance to someone new, but as soon as someone new comes into your life, they're not new. They're new for a little while, but once you know them, you build up your own level of resistance. So if you're not working on what's causing the resistance to begin with, you're just going to find yourself in the same pattern. This is why self-concept is way more important. Casey, my prescription to you is self-concept. You need self-concept work. You can't put a Band-Aid, an SP-shaped Band-Aid on your self-concept and your inner child and your wounds and stuff. But that's because that's what I see here happening, is that you don't want a moment alone with your thoughts or something, right? Like I'm being a little dramatic about it, but like that's kind of the energy I'm getting, is like, okay, there's somebody I could have this person who I don't know what the deal is. Roxy talking. I don't know what the deal is, but Casey talking. Doesn't really matter. I'll manifest them anyways, even though there's some resistance here. Or I could pick somebody new, but I don't want to wait for somebody new. Even if they're the right person, I probably would just rather be with somebody that's not right just to be with somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just hear not the right. This isn't the place to stand from to manifest the best relationship. Like, this isn't a good starting point. Like, if you were to manifest somebody from this place, they may not fulfill you because you're not fulfilled, and it's going to give you a match of what you are. So if you want to be fulfilled, if you want to, have a fulfilling relationship, you need to be fulfilled when you're manifesting them. Like, you need to learn how to be okay and love yourself and be okay without it, knowing that being okay without it is actually the answer to a relationship. Casey says, oh, that does sound accurate. Okay. It's time for you, girl. And that's okay. We all have like that time when we're called, and it probably happens more than once for a lot of people. But when you're called to focus on yourself and to do the work, the inner work, and to love yourself and figure out what it is that makes you tick and figure out what it is that you are bringing to the world and what you need to feel supported, it's time. So you said, patience is something I never had and need to figure out a way to gain. I'm assuming I will gain it once I successfully master my self-concept. Yeah, but okay. But again, what I hear is finish line. This is no finish line. This is like, we do this every day for the rest of our lives if we're lucky enough, like, like to stick to it. You only have so many days left on the earth. Your best bet is to meditate every day. Your best bet for those days is to meditate every day, do your shit that brings me joy, keep your thoughts away from the painful stuff, process the pain that's within you. That's the absolute best bet for humanity. Do you understand? For the fucking entire world, the best thing we could all hope for is that we start meditating every day and staying on top of our thoughts and not dwelling on our doubts, fears, and worries and insecurities. That's the only hope we have. And your days are numbered. When are you going to start? When is that going to be a priority? Because if you're making a relationship a priority, you're not going to feel it. It's not going to happen like that. You have to understand what putting yourself first, what loving yourself feels like, what it looks like, how you do it, how it sounds, what it talks like, how it responds to people. You need to practice that shit. Or else when your person comes through, like somebody asked, they manifested the person proposing to them exactly the same way, a super chat earlier today, and still wasn't good enough and wasn't right. Not saying anything bad about them. I'm saying in their mind, the problem was not solved. The problem was not solved by a specific person coming through, giving them exactly what they want, including a ring and an offer for lifelong commitment. Still not enough. Do you understand? Do you get what I'm saying? It will never be enough until you learn how to be enough on your own. No ring, no wedding, no partner can fill that void. Only you can. And if you constantly look for other people to do it, you're keeping me employed. And I love you. Thank you. Whew, all right. The Holy Ghost came through. Okay. And I want to do the giveaway here in just a minute. I think I scared some people when I was screaming. I scared some people away, but that's okay. And then I'm going to get, okay, I saw that super chat before. All right, let's do our giveaway real fast. And then I'm going to get back to the super chats. Okay. Then we're going back to Antoinette. I see you. Okay, so we're going to do our giveaway right now. I'm going to reiterate the rules and let you know what we're giving away, what we're doing. Right now, we are giving away a 20-minute one-on-one session via Zoom with me. And there are some parameters that you must be able to agree to, or please don't enter. If you're not able to operate within these, then please don't enter and maybe consider manifesting a one-on-one session. So here are the rules. 1, you have to be available March 1st. It's a Tuesday, sometime between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. PST. That is when we will be doing our Zoom session, a one-on-one call, 20 minutes, where you'll get to ask a question about a situation you're going through. The caveat is it will be shared on the podcast and on YouTube. So you must be comfortable sharing your story with others. The whole point of this is to show others how to get to the heart of some of their issues, to show people that they're not alone, to help hear some of someone else's problems come out of someone else's mouth so it feels less like a problem and feels more like easier to manage. And just to kind of show others what coaching is like. And so we're going to be sharing that via YouTube, podcast, and we're giving it giveaway. So anybody that's on Mindset Monday has the option to win, but you must be able to film March 1st, Tuesday between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. PST, and you must be willing to let this be on the podcast and the video in perpetuity forever on the internet, okay? So if it's something super duper personal, maybe this is not the giveaway for you, and that's okay. There might be something better in the future. So right now, I'm going to write down a word in my notes app. And as soon as I'm done writing it, I'm going to tell you what what am I going to, I don't know why. This is the word that just popped in my head. I had other plans for today, but I'm going with the very first word that popped into my head. Okay. I want to make it bigger real fast. Yeah, that's funny. All right. Make it big. Aw. Mother son of a. So, I'm getting ready to do the giveaway. If you would like to win a 20-minute one-on-one session with me, there we go. I make it big. That will be shared on the podcast and the YouTube videos. And you're available on Tuesday, March 1st, between the hours of 12 and 4 p.m. PST. Then you may enter this giveaway right now. Here we go into the chat. I just picked a random flower. The word came into my head. I don't know why. I don't know who's it for. But I heard the word of a flower, and that's the word I typed in my phone. So, go. It's a flower. So, if you'd like to win a one-on-one session with me, please guess a flower. First person to guess the flower wins a one-on-one session with me on March 1st, 2022 via Zoom. Oh, still waiting. Here comes the flowers. No one's saying it yet. Keep going. Keep going. No one said it yet. Okay, good. This one lasting a little bit longer. Last time it lasted like 2 seconds. We're looking for a flower to win a chance. No, not a chance. To win a 20-minute one-on-one session with me that will be shared on the podcast and the YouTube channel. No one's saying it yet. No one's got it yet. March 1st, 2022. Nope. Dang. This must be for one person specifically because I heard this word very clearly in my head. I wasn't even planning on picking a flower, and if I had, I would have probably picked a different one. Nope. This is fun. Oh my gosh. Someone's over there Googling flowers. What is it? I had to look just in case. Okay, nope. No one said it yet. You guys are saying my favorite flower. And that's why I'm saying I didn't even think of this because I didn't pick my favorite flower, which, oh my gosh. Wow. No. Nobody's gotten it yet. This is so interesting. Nope. Shit, let me make sure this is even a flower. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I'm going to look at what it looks like, though. Oh, my God. Wait. You can't see any reflection in my glasses, can you? I want to TikTok myself. This is so funny. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a fucking flower. Okay. Right? Yeah, that's a flower. Tiffany! Oh, my God. Tiffany. Tiffany got it. Holy shit. Tiffany. Wait, can you focus? Come on, thing. You guys, there it is. Geranium! Wow. And I don't even I have no emotional connection to it. So again, I don't know. That was Tiffany, I think you're the first person to say geranium. Because I was looking. Wow. Oh my God. That was a good one. Elizabeth, you weren't that far back. You really were not that far back from Tiffany. Ninefile says people are still guessing. I know there's a little bit of lag in the chat as well. If anybody wants to see, again, you saw me. I had to Google it, make sure that I'm like, yeah, that's a flower. I know flowers. I can see them with my fucking eyeballs. That's a flower. So, wow, that was fun. I like that. Okay. So Tiffany is going to get a session with me. All right. So you know what? You know how to just contact Leanne, please, and she'll get you scheduled. Okay. And now I got to go back up to my super chat. Okay. That was fun. I like doing that, you guys. Okay. Oh, no. I lost my super chats. Shoot. No, wait. Do I have one here? I might need help from the mods. Yeah, it's not letting me go back up any farther. In the meantime, though, I'll answer IDK. Thank you for the super chat. What is the best method to manifest your crush? The best method is like what makes you happy and fulfilled. And then using your affirmations to describe your crush as like just smitten, puppy love, not going anywhere. I don't like to use the word obsessed, but like that, like something like that, but that doesn't have that weird kind of like dangerous quality to it. But the best way to get the person that you love is to learn, or that you are interested in or have a crush on or whatever, learn how to make yourself feel fulfilled and happy and excited and joyful now without needing them. And then use your affirmations and your words, your thoughts, your reactions to only describe them as completely single and ready for you and, you know, totally into you. Again, like you're their type, they've had a crush on you the whole time. And then when you're seeing them or experiencing them, you're kind of doing like damage control in your mind and making sure that you're not using your thoughts to think doubts, worries, fears, insecurities about them or the situation. And when they're not around as well. I like someone guessed cannabis as a flower. That's a good guess. Yeah, the flower that popped into my head is not one that I would have ever, if I had consciously picked it, I would have never in a million years picked that. Birds of paradise are my favorite. Irises are my other favorite. Yeah, I like chrysanthemums too. Yeah, I would have never chosen. Nobody chose it for a long time. The geraniums, like, people forget that I'm a flower, and I just need everyone to remember that I exist. Oh my God, Anna says, I say geranium like 5 times a day, and it didn't even cross my mind. I think the geranium is like, hello, remember me? Aquarian, I missed your super chat. Okay, anybody that left a super chat before, I lost my super chats because the little voting thing came through. There's so many comments came through that I can't see them anymore. So I'm asking help from the moderators. But Aquarian, will you type your question in again? And then IDK asks, how do I recommend using the affirmations I posted on my channel? Should you listen to them overnight? You can listen to them overnight. You can listen to them during the day. You can put them on while you're doing your daily, you know, I was going to say chores, but like the things you do, like when you're taking a shower, when you're driving to work and, you know, getting ready or whatever it is that you do, cooking, you can put them on at any time. And it just helps to give you something better to choose from when you're thinking of thoughts regarding your specific person so that you can pick a better reality. Anna, you're very kind. Thank you for those sweet words. Okay, Aquarian says, SP said, let's be friends because he has a lot on his plate. How do I fix this? Okay, so energetically take the stuff off his plate. Stop saying he has a lot on his plate. Like, and you know what else I'm hearing? I'm hearing the word priority in my head. So where are you not prioritizing yourself, and where do you expect or agree or affirm that others don't prioritize you? Where do you fear that they're not going to prioritize you? Where do you say that he's not doing yada yada yads? Like the lot on his plate, or the not putting you as equally or more important than what's on that plate, comes from you and your own like worth, ideas about worth and value, and like what you're good enough for and stuff like that. And like what the stuff you're saying in your head is about that situation, and what you expect from them, and how you respond to them when they brush you off and things like that. And even now, how do you fix this? By making it so that in your mind, I don't care how much you have on your plate, I'm the fucking main course. So, like, if your eyes are too big for your stomach, that sounds like a you problem, sir. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. You got this filet. I'm a vegan, but I'm gonna use a filet. I've eaten fillets before; they are delicious. Not that I'm advocating eating flesh, but I have done it, and I'm not judging if you do. Nor telling you not to. I'm just saying, like, you know, if you got a filet on your plate and you really want it, and you got like French fries and potatoes and corn on the cob and fucking hush puppies and soup and salad and dinner rolls and all kinds of other sides, like, that's on you to do what you will with those side dishes. The filet is the filet, and you know damn well you're going to eat the whole thing, right? Like, you get what I'm saying? Put your perspective needs to go back onto you, and know that, like, it doesn't matter what's on his plate. He prioritizes you, period. And also that stuff is lessening as well. Hold on, because I just realized these little clips are all crooked. What? When did that happen? So I hope that helps, because yeah, so like saying that whatever his schedule is, it's manageable. It's so manageable. He's so good at prioritizing his time and prioritizing his schedule. He's always puts you first. That's not a problem. You're just obviously, like, you know, you're concerned for his well-being. So clearly he takes care of himself. He takes care of you. He knows exactly how to make you happy. He knows exactly how to give you the time that you need. You have a great dynamic. It's perfect for both of you guys. Your schedules link up exactly. Like, start saying affirmations that describe what you actually want, instead of giving into what your 3D reality is doing. You know? Okay. I see a super chat from Angela. If I miss a super chat, oh, Ellen. Okay, thanks. Let me get to Angela. I'll get to you just a minute. I have Ellen before. Okay, Ellen. Ellen says, I applied to a job and haven't heard back. My friend asked about it and suggested I call. And follow up, would me calling be trying too hard? Sometimes you got to call to get a job. You know, like, it's kind of like part of getting a job is like having to call them and be like, hey, I'm putting in a resume. Just going to look at the status of my resume. It's kind of part of the rigmarole, you know? So instead of like worrying that you're trying too hard, I'd be more like, I'm covering all of my motherfucking bases. I'm manifesting it. I'm being the best employee, got the best resume. I'm calling, I'm checking up. Like, you know, you're covering all your bases. Like, what I'm being reminded of when I manifested this house. You know, I did things in the physical world and energetically in my mind to manifest this house. When they told me no. If originally they did not approve me, and I said, oh, that's strange, because it's my fucking house, so that's going to be really weird, because it's my house. And I just energetically, I wouldn't take no for an answer, and I didn't. you know? So be diligent, but be open, because this job situation, or this not getting a job or getting it or whatever, could also be leading you to something else that you want, or that you like better. Either way, it's going to be great. So don't fall into the trap of like doubting yourself. It's okay to do 3D stuff, and as a manifester, like, you're already doing that. You're already living in the 3D world. And like, when I talk about manifesting physical healing, I have a 4-step process, and one of those 4 steps is actually doing the physical healing, taking your medication or doing your physical therapy or whatever it is. Do that part too, because maybe that part's also part of the manifestation. So, you getting the job and following up might be a part of you, or how do I say this? You following up might be part of you getting the job. So, and like, I would just say, like, when I was younger and I was applying to jobs, I remember the rhetoric just being like, follow up, squeaky wheel gets the oil kind of a thing. So follow up. And even if you don't hear anything back, just know that the path, you're still on the path, and that the perfect opportunity for you is coming your way no matter what. And if that one wasn't it, then good. Bye. Not looking for you anyways. Probably would have sucked. Just like send it on its way. You don't have to tell it sucks or whatever, but just send it on its way without like stressing about it, and just let it go, and know that whatever, again, is more is better is coming, and intend for that so that it can. Okay. Angela, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, what do you recommend for self-love? I've manifested my hubby out of a relationship. I've manifested my hubby, but our relationship, I think, might be your issue. Yeah, again, okay, so same thing. This is a common theme. You're the 3rd super chat to come through where it's evident that manifesting a specific person is not the issue, is not the problem. It's, what do you do when you have someone in your life that you don't want to lose? That's the issue. Like, how do you behave in the relationship? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, sorry. Bruh. Okay. Layered necklaces, all fun and games. So they start tangling up. So yeah, so self-love is very, very, very important, because if you don't fix what's going on within you that was keeping you separate from the person before, that thing is not gone just because the person comes through. It still needs to be dealt with and handled, because it's going to be manifesting. It's going to be in the way. So what do I recommend for self-love? Essentially, it's like the 360 method. It's like the prescription for really anything. That's my signature method. The official program is coming very soon. There's videos here on YouTube where I talk about it and break it down. But essentially what it is that it's operating from the understanding that all of your thoughts and your ideas about life are creating your 3D reality. So if you can learn how to think in a way that describes what you want instead of describing what you don't want with your thoughts, then you'll live the life that you want to live. That process involves handling your emotions properly and dealing with your wounds and inner child stuff and the stuff that haunts you, dealing with your triggers and your patterns and changing things, loving yourself, doing the work, quote unquote. And it comes down to daily. This is for everybody here. Please listen. What this self-love comes down to is a daily, lifelong commitment and practice to doing things every single day that put you in a mental space to think thoughts that foster, a positive environment, versus putting yourself in a mental space to think thoughts that foster negative environment. And whether or not you are having positive or negative thoughts, that are coming to you is irrelevant. It's what are you doing about them? How are you treating yourself in the process? And what are you doing to create the environment for which those thoughts are, from which those thoughts are flowing? So my recommendation for self-love, breaking it down, starts with meditating every day. I was watching my Mindset Monday from last week and I was all sassy. I was like, I don't even want to deal with anybody. If you're not going to commit to meditating every day, I can't even help you. Well, I appreciate my own sentiment. It's not that I can't help you. It's just that, meditating every day is so beneficial, so important. There's a reason I keep saying it. There's a reason why all of the successful people in the world do it and recommend it. It's not a coincidence. There's something that happens to you that exponentially grows your awareness and understanding and ability to love and perceive and receive whatever. That's something, it explodes that when you're meditating frequently or consistently, I would say. So daily meditation, 15 to 30 minutes, maybe an hour on the weekends if you can, because then you get a lot of like cool information and, healing and downloads and stuff. Daily meditation. And then you're staying on top of your thoughts using something like 360 method. That's what I use. That's what I recommend, obviously. Scripting every day if you can. I script at night. I'm watching my thoughts during the day. I'm paying attention to how I react to my triggers. Meditating every day helps tremendously with me and my reactions to triggers. I'm listening to positive content. I'm listening to, motivational stuff from the people I admire. I'm listening to affirmations. Listening to, healing tones and meditation music. I'm keeping the environment in my mind a place where positive and productive thoughts can sprout and not ones that encourage and foster negativity or doubts or insecurity and worry. And if I find myself there, I'm gently guiding myself back to somewhere more productive, because I just don't have time to waste sitting around worrying or doubting, because that in itself is the problem. Not what I'm worried about. It's the fact that I'm worrying again. It's the fact that I'm letting myself go down this road instead of thinking solution wise or applying love or attention to what it is that is wounded or neglected within me in that moment. And continuing to spiral or worry or doubt is exactly why I keep having these issues. So I always say awareness and discipline are the cornerstones of my method, but I think that self-love is that too. It's awareness. It's knowing yourself, knowing what you need, and then doing it every single day for the rest of your life, not to get somebody, not doing this. So I'm going to do my self-concept so I can get my relationship. You are going to be back here again, going through the same shit. This is never ending. You don't just do self-concept and then stop one day, or self-love and stop one day. It's you think you're supposed to just love yourself for a finite amount of time and then things will work out and then you can just stop one day. Like, it doesn't make any sense. There is a reason why when you feel really good and you're on your shit and you're paying attention to yourself and you're caring about yourself and you're prioritizing yourself, that all of the things in your life start to work out. And then when you start coasting and thinking you got it and you can give up on yourself, that's when things start to fall apart. It happens to everybody. This is universal. And the reason is because loving yourself and putting yourself first and your self-care first is the answer. And then I just remembered the last thing I forgot to tell you is shit that brings me joy. I suggest everyone make a shit that brings me joy list. And then you do one of those things, at least one every day. And then when you are spiraling or worried or doubtful or insecure or whatever, you can go to that list to physically move your body out of that space, like literally move, go somewhere else, do a jumping jacks, dance around your living room, call a friend, go to your shit that brings me joy list, get out of the energy, move the water in your body, move the energy out of that space, literally, to kind of like dislodge or like the doubt clog that's in there. And then you wake up tomorrow and you do it again every day for the rest of your life. And that's how you love yourself, by treating yourself the best way you possibly can, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Okay. All right. I want to make sure I didn't miss any more super chats. Okay. NJ, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, hi, Roxy. May I know what's what your thought on manifesting someone else while still in a relationship when we feel this relationship is not right for us anymore. My answer is to do what feels good and do what you want and go where the love is, go where the satisfaction is, go where the fulfillment is, go where the happiness is. And if you're in a relationship that doesn't bring those things out in you, then it's not fair to either one of you. And you shouldn't, I don't think you should personally, I wouldn't do it. Why? Why waste years and months of your life in misery and agony, either making someone else, not making someone else, sharing agony and misery with someone else or lying to them, right? Either they understand that the relationship is shit or they have no fucking clue that you don't like it, right? Essentially. I know I'm dumbing it down, but either way, it's not what you want. So why on earth would you spend 1 second longer in that relationship, knowing that you're in full and total control of everything in your life? Why would you waste a second of your life on it? I just don't understand. It's like, if you're not happy and there's somebody else, there's your answer right there. There's someone that makes you happy. This person doesn't. Stop wasting both of your guys' time. Life is not that long. It feels long until it's fucking not one day. And then it's too short. So quit wasting it in misery or longing and decide that you're going to get exactly what you want. You're going to have the relationship that you deserve and need. And so is everybody involved. And it's going to make everybody happier and better. And that's it, period. There's no other option. You can do anything. And I would just be thinking about how exciting it is that a new chapter is coming, and I would like visualize the chapter page turning, like old chapter done. That person's glad they're on their own journey. They're so happy that they're free to do what they want. It's an amicable split. There's no hard feelings. We're both supportive of each other. And now I'm free to explore this amazing relationship with this person. And I'm so excited for what's next. Like, that's where the energy would be at if I was picking. And, that's what I would focus on. You have every right to be in the right relationship. And you should know that, claim it, declare it, practice that thought. I have every right to be in my ideal relationship. I have every right to be in the best relationship possible for me. Just making sure I don't have if there's any more super chats. Elizabeth, is there any benefit to meditating hours a day? Well, monks do it, and they're like the happiest people in the world, right? Is there any benefit to meditating hours a day? Here's what the benefits of meditating hours a day are. For one, meditation in general is incredibly powerful. It gives you clarity on your situation. It gives you answers to questions you don't understand. It helps you see things that are kind of there or obvious that you're not able to see otherwise. It helps you not, I said one finger, I'm naming all these things. It helps you not react to your 3D world. In general, meditating every day is amazing. If you're meditating for hours a day, when you meditate past like an hour or two, you start to unlock these like incredible like vaults of self-worth and self-love, like these immense, you start seeing yourself for the incredible power that you are when you shut out the world for that long, when you're able to just shut the world down and just be. you really start to see how powerful you actually are and how trivial everything in the world is. So it massively changes your perspective about yourself and what you're capable of and who you are and what you came to do, which can inspire you in who knows how many ways. You're going to be unlocking information that you would have never had access to if you hadn't done it. And the other thing about it is that those hours that you spend meditating, you probably would normally have spent doubting, worrying, fearing, being distracted, insecure, whatever. And those were a waste anyways. So is there any benefit to meditating hours a day? I would say the question should be, is there any benefit to not meditating hours a day? Is there any conceivable life that is good enough that doesn't involve meditating hours a day? That's what I think your question really should say. There was something from Shantae that I missed. I want to find. Am I releasing more affirmations and meditation soon? Yes. I just have to get them together. Great. All right. Okay. I'm tired today. I apologize. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm just going to catch the chat up. Naomi, I have appearance affirmations and success affirmations already on YouTube. Okay, Linda says, I've been doing guided meditations to receive specific answers for questions, but I keep receiving other information, which is helpful, but I'm not answering the questions I'm trying to figure out. So, Linda, I would say do a blank meditation. Do a meditation with just the music and just the tones. It sounds like you're in a crystal shop. It's that kind of music. Do a meditation just to that. And if you want to go to my website, roxytalks.com, if you go to the free resources tab, I have a meditation guide. It's just like a 2-page PDF download, and it kind of describes my process of how to how I do a blank meditation. But essentially, I pretty much just count back from 88. Imagine myself on some state. The PDF might be different than what I do now, but the process is the same. It's just kind of clearing out your thoughts, sending them away, getting to that space that the guided meditation kind of talks you into. You get there yourself, and then you can ask all kinds of questions. And it's literally you could literally visualize a Google search bar coming up, and you can type any question in and ask, and just be prepared for the answer to come right away. And I've talked about this before. It's almost like the answer kind of almost comes before you finish the sentence, because it already knows. You already know, it already knows. But try a blank meditation and see how it works for you. You can go on all kinds of journeys in a blank meditation. I mean, you can go in any meditation, but you don't have the confines of what the person is saying to you. Tommy says, that reminds me, Roxy, I still need to do a 2-hour meditation you recommended. Scheduling 2 hours of me time tomorrow. Yes. And that's Kyle. That's Kyle's suggestion from his book. Bruja, how do I meditate? Do I just focus on my breath? No, I don't. I count back from 88 and I visualize my feet going down 88 steps. So each foot is going down a stair. And I just get all the way down to the bottom. And then when I get to the bottom, I walk through some doors And then like usually my dog Leo is there and he greets me and I say hi to Leo for a minute. And then by that time I'm pretty much like convinced of whatever's going on in my meditation, Once I get to the point where Leo's there, I'm in, I'm like enjoying my sweet boy. And then you can just ask any question. Mama 4 says, I just do it at night. My ADHD only allows me to do meditation, like if I'm in the shower doing yoga. Well, listen, here's what I'm going to say to you. First off, don't say that. That's an affirmation. You're letting your ADHD control you, but in reality, you're just letting things you've experienced prevent you from trying something or like pushing past, right? And I'm not trying to diminish you in any way. I just want to say that don't say that. Don't use that as an excuse. Like I wouldn't, because then you're already saying, okay, that's not possible for me. Yeah, I could try to meditate and learn how to practice and learn how to stay focused. Like maybe you try doing 5 minutes at a time. Maybe it starts there and then you bump it to 6 and then you bump it to 7. But just saying, oh, I can't do it because of my ADHD, you're not even going to try. And I'm not saying that you haven't, but like, let's try something different. And then you also said, if I'm in the shower or doing yoga, well, maybe you should be doing those every morning and meditating during that space every morning if you can. I know you have 4 kids. Again, not diminishing you, just want you to look at things differently. Because when you just do it at night, it doesn't have the same effect on setting the tone for your day. Meditating first thing in the morning, like before you even check your phone, is really, really powerful and really helps you, again, set your day up so that you don't get so triggered. And even if you do get triggered, you don't react the same way. It does a lot. So I'm going to suggest maybe trying 5 minutes in the day. And actually there's some really cute meditations on YouTube. I don't know. It might be like the Mindful Babe. I could be completely making that up. She does 5-minute meditations and they have like a cute little like cartoon of like a girl in like a lotus pose or something. And it's like pastel. It's very girly looking, like pastel colors, but these are little 5-minute meditations that are so good. And like, you could even do something like that just to get you set in the right direction before you start your day. And I think it'll help you tremendously. And then just stop saying that the ADHD does anything but help you, because it does what it does. But if you affirm that it does things, it's going to do what you affirm it does. Does that make sense? Okay. We were talking about Disneyland. Do you guys want to start really planning a Disneyland trip? Because I was thinking about making shirts. So that we have matching shirts. Let me go. Yeah, because I was thinking maybe we could like look for like a date in May or something, to give people time to get accommodations in order. If you don't know what we're talking about, we've discussed having like a group trip to Disneyland. Obviously, that's in California, Anaheim, California. So it would be kind of like a meetup. I wouldn't be facilitating anything except if I'm going to do shirts. I would make us shirts and then we'd have like maybe like a meetup time, like a location time. But other than that, it would be on you to kind of like, pay for your own shit and get your flight or stay, whatever you're doing. But we've talked about having a group trip to Disneyland. And so I think we should start planning it now if we want to actually like do it this spring or this summer. So yeah, maybe like May. Stephanie says, for ADHD, Joe Dispenza, breaking the habit of being yourself meditation seems to work really well. Do it first thing when you wake up and still sleepy before going to bed. Thank you, Stephanie. I definitely always recommend Joe Dispenza to people, for sure. Cynthia, am I Hispanic? Like 2%. I am black and white and this much. I only got this much from my grandma. Oh, Elizabeth, you have a pass. You can only go on a weekday. I mean, I wouldn't mind going on like a Friday or something if people can do a weekday, but oh yeah, the traffic would be a pain in the ass. But whatever, we could figure it out. We could figure it out. But yeah, let's try to find a date and maybe try to pick a date. Okay. All right. I am Charisse. Did I say that right? Is that right? I work with my SP. Seeing him every day is good, but I sometimes get triggered when other girls make googly eyes at him and he seems okay with it. Okay, like you have a couple options here. Well, here's my advice. First off, who looks at who? Never heard of it. Like, I would be like, erase, 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 erase. I don't think so. You don't exist. This didn't happen. Like, stuff like that. I wouldn't be affirming that, soaking it up and reiterating it and making it like a thing. So that's first thing. Should anybody do, first off, and then, okay, yeah, and should they ever do, he has none of it. He's like, what? Who? Huh? Doesn't even entertain it. Doesn't even register it. Doesn't even notice it. Sometimes you feel bad because he just kind of like completely is oblivious. He's not trying to be mean to these people, but he's just oblivious to it. He's only got one person on his mind, and sometimes you feel kind of bad because they just get totally ignored. But you know what? That's whatever. It's fine. But like we're looking at it in a different way. You're telling a different story about it. And then, so there's like some of your defenses, the pre-work. Then should anything, whatever happen in the 3D, you're doing damage control in the moment of like, good thing I'm the only person I'm the only one. Good thing he only wants me, and I'm the person he likes, and I'm the only one he's into, and I'm his perfect type or whatever. Like you're doing that over and over and over in your head if these things happen and come up so that you don't go down the road of your worries, doubts, insecurities, and fears and stuff like that. Oh, Leanne, you're going to Disney World in May? Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Kristen says wrong coast. Well, that's what airplanes are for. That's what I'm saying. We just get the plan going. Leanne says May is going to be less expensive first 2 weeks. Hi, Brad. Hi. So maybe we could try for the first 2 weeks of May. And if people are traveling, maybe you guys could like stay together. I mean, I don't need to. I'm not going to suggest it. I'm just saying maybe, I don't know, if you trusted somebody enough to stay with them. Okay, so let's talk about homework. Oh, Shantae has an awesome successor. Shantae, will you leave that again? I couldn't find it in the chat. I saw someone talking to you about it, but I couldn't find it. Alicia, you'd rather go to Disney World than Disneyland? Go to Disney World then. I'm not going because I live in LA. No offenses. We already talked about this. Like, you can go to Disney World all you want. No one is stopping you. I mean this with love. Might be a more halfway point for them. That's totally cool. I am like barely get away from my life and job. And I told everybody that if you want to do a Disney trip, the likelihood of me going dramatically increases if it's in the city I live in versus 3,000 miles away. So if you want me to be there, again, I don't care. You can go to Disney World all you want. If you want me to be there, I live over here and that's what I'm going to. So Yeah. Bruja says, what are the benefits of meditating for 360 method? Does meditation help you have more discipline and awareness? Okay. Meditating is something you should be doing every single day, no matter what. Just like showering and brushing your teeth, taking care of yourself. You do these things every single day. You wash your mouth, you wash your body, you wash your brain. Okay? 360 method is a way to balance and practice conscious living, mental diet, awareness and discipline, keeping your thoughts on track, because your thoughts are manifesting your world every day, all day long. Your thoughts are doing that, whether you meditate or not. However, when you meditate, the quality of your thoughts is way higher. So if you want to manifest easily and live the best possible life, my suggestion is that you meditate every single day. If you want to create the life you desire, then you need to learn which of your thoughts are preventing it and shut those down and understand which thoughts will bring it up into you and use those more. So 360 method is a way of life. Meditation is something that we should be doing every day. Medusa says, I'm antisocial. Bring me back a churro. You know what? That's really a big, bold assumption of yours to think a churro could possibly last that long in my hands without being eaten. I don't think so, Medusa. I will try, but I don't think it'll make it. I love churros. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, Kristen said, Brad, that's my SP's name. It's a sign. There you go. Signs are everywhere if you want them to be. And Alicia, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be snotty with you for suggesting we go to Disney World, but I actually prefer Disneyland, honestly, just because Disney World's all spread out and stuff. If you go to the wrong one, you're stuck at the wrong one. That was my one experience. I went to the one where it's all kids and nothing else and no rides, and I did not enjoy it. Okay, S191 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, my SP has asked me on a date so many times that I've gained so much weight. I'm not feeling pretty. Any tips on changing appearance? Okay, hold on. Because this is interesting because I think you have a typo. Hold on, wait. Hold on. Let me get to S191 in just a minute because Shantae, I've asked you a million times to type this in the chat, and here it is. I see it. Shantae says, I started describing my SP as a person who also loves manifestation. It works. She completely opened up. I'm finally so fulfilled. Thanks for teaching me to pay attention to the story I'm telling. That's awesome. Okay, totally. Because people ask that all the time. My person's not into this. I'm like, say they are. Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us. S191. You said you have a typo because I think you were saying my SP's asked me on a date so many times, but I've gained so much weight and I'm not feeling pretty. Any tips on changing appearance? But what you actually typed was, my SP has asked me on a diet so many times, but I've gained so much weight and I'm not feeling pretty. Like, you had like a Freudian slip showing your, I'm going to use the word obsession just because it's an easy word to get to right now. Obsession with your appearance and your weight. Not that it's not valid. Not that I'm not saying your feelings aren't, you can't have them or anything like that. They're not right. Again, they're completely valid. But you are not your weight, and they've asked you out so many times. It's clearly not a problem for them, right? It's not the kind of problem it is for them that it is for you. So just getting to the idea, I know that it's not about what they think necessarily, mostly about what you think, but just knowing that you are loved, you have love coming to you, asking for you, knocking on your door. And when you stop being so preoccupied with this idea that you're not enough or that you need to do more or be less, even if you want to look at it like that, then you'll feel so much better because your 3D reality is even showing you that that's not the truth, which is awesome. So if you can just kind of snap out of the illusion of listening to your doubts, fears, worries, and insecurities and replacing the thought pattern that says you're not good enough or that you need to lose weight or you're not pretty or you're not whatever, and telling it, fuck you, I look great how I look. People are knocking on my door every single day. Don't say that because I don't want that to really happen. People are always interested in me, always coming to me, always pursuing me. The people I like can't get enough of me, or, things like that. And like, I don't care what I look like. I'm the flyest person in the room, or I have the best energy and everyone's eyes are on me. Or, I mean, literally doesn't matter whatever makes you feel comfortable, but saying something better than this stuff is the first step. And I have videos about changing your appearance here on YouTube. So please look at those as well, because it's more of like a concentrated start to finish perspective on that. But the first step is always taking away the words that describe you as not what you want. I'm not saying don't believe you're not whatever weight. I'm not saying try to, convince yourself of anything. I just want you to first stop saying anything that's bad or like putting you down, or that you're not enough, that you're too much, you've gained, so who cares? You're healthy, you're alive, you have love to give and love to receive, and that's really all that matters. And so, changing your appearance, it's affirmations, just like everything else, because the entire world you're living is manifested off of your language. So the reason you're living this now is because you keep saying and choosing language that describes you as not being pretty enough and being too much weight or whatever. If you, like I said, if you stop saying those things, if you just stop the sentences in your mind and out loud, A, it'll manifest less in the 3D. And B, you leave room for thoughts and sentences that describe you as your ideal way and loving the way you look. I love how I look. I weigh exactly what I want. Every time I step on the scale, it goes down. I love looking in the mirror. I love who I am. Everybody is attracted to me. I mean, like, whatever. You just pick things that are better than what you've got here. And we're here for you. Like, I know how it feels to be insecure about your looks and weight and all that stuff. I know exactly what that's like. So I get it. But I will say, like, my husband didn't come through until I realized, like, none of that shit mattered. And it was just like, he's lucky if I let him be with me. And I don't mean that in a callous way. Like, I had to realize that I had something to offer that was of value, and I wasn't going to give it away for free. And you better give me something in return for it, and mine was just as valid as yours. And I'm on the fucking exchange with anybody that I decide I want to exchange with. Nobody's off limits. Like, that's how I was thinking about myself when my husband, like, conformed, I guess you could say that, in the 3D. Not conformed, because I wasn't trying to change him. I literally was actually trying to move on. And but it was in the decision that I was going to be fine and I was going to be okay. And in fact, I was going to be even better than I ever was from that moment forward. And I have a great relationship still. But it was me. It was all me. It had nothing to do with him. Alicia. Yeah, come to Disneyland, and then you can measure, come to Disneyland is what I'm trying to say. It's all coming out as one word. Come to Disneyland, and then go to Disney World and measure them against each other. Tommy, I love it. It says, when I transformed my body, I kept affirming I have the body of a Greek god, and now I do. The body transformation requires a sustainable path and patience. I love it. Same thing with manifesting. Sustainable path and patience, awareness and discipline, Hi, baby. We're doing last call for super chats. I need to do Valentine's Day with my husband. Medusa's, I'm more of a threat to churro than time, and you don't know how to feel about it. You're damn right. I'm not letting that thing get hard. I'm not letting time get a churro. Are you out of your mind? Time get a churro. Hell no. I'm going to step in before that happens. Because I care. Mama of Four says, my SP's after me somehow and heavy no matter how I look. Oh, hot and heavy no matter how I look. Exactly. Oh, that's what you'd say. Yeah. And honestly, like my husband has been with me like at all my weights, my lowest weight and my biggest weight. So, didn't really have anything to do with it, you know. It's what I thought it had to do with, I guess. Leanne, I am the golden prize. Damn right. Medusa says, are you going to the cult in Disneyland? I like conspiracies. I like conspiracies too. I'm definitely down with like the Disney ideas. Like, I've talked about the Crater Earth. The Crater Earth conspiracy is probably my favorite one, which is that Earth is actually not a ball floating in space, but is a crater on what we think of as the moon. And the moon that we see in the sky is actually a reflection of the greater realm that we're a part of, reflecting off of the atmosphere or whatever. So, and that there's like different like domes or like firmament layers that rotate differently, and one rotates in a certain way that makes it look like the stars, and the other one rotates in a way it looks like the planets and shit or something. I don't remember. But and that the crater that we're in, obviously not a ball, there's an ice wall surrounding it. Antarctica takes up half of the crater and it's all iced over and frozen. And the European and Eurasian and Africa continents are like, if you're looking at the crater like north to south at the top of the crater, and then the United States, the Americas and South Americas are like sideways on their side or upside down or something below it. And that there is the next part. This is fun. There's two suns that power each of the different hemispheres. I love that one. And this is the reason why I'm talking about it with Walt Disney, is because supposedly Walt Disney knew this. And if you look at the map of Disneyland, Disney World and stuff, all of it all lines up to the same way that the parts of our crater line up. And then the person that makes these videos does like typographical map imagery of like the peaks and valleys and stuff of Earth, and it all lines up in this crater, and like he like arranges it and shows you like where it is and stuff, and he has like a shitload of videos about it. But Walt Disney supposedly was in on this and designed all the Disney stuff to reflect the actual realm that Earth is. So yeah, I'm totally down with conspiracies. I love conspiracies. Okay. Did I already talk about last week's homework? No, Rena, I did not, because I honestly forgot what it was and I just kind of moved on because I couldn't remember. Does anybody remember? Because then I was thinking, shoot, Dina was here last week, but Dina left early. Leanne wasn't here last week, but Leanne's here. So I don't know if anybody remembers the homework from last week. Alyssa, you made it. Hello. Alicia says, fine, I'll go. You're going to come to California. You can travel. You live in Rhode Island. Maybe somebody else from the East Coast will travel with you. P.S. Thank you. Talking about my cousin. 24 hours worry-free. Thank you, Elena. Okay. Worrying. Yes. Love you guys. Okay. So who did the homework last week? Who has who has information to share about what they experienced while they were doing 24 hours hyper awareness on worries and just trying to shut down the worries and not letting themselves entertain them, recognizing worries for what they are, which is just worries and doubts. Okay, so yeah, let me know how homework went for you last week. Medusa says, if I could manifest the money, I would go on the trip. LOL. Why can't you? Like, okay, Medusa, I'm going to say something right now to you. It might sound mean, and I mean this with love. You're talking to the wrong community of people to be ifing and want in your situation. Like, if you're going to go anywhere and talk about the fact that you've manifested the money to go to Disneyland already, this is where you're doing it. So there is no if. There is, are you going to choose to go on the trip and figure it out and make that money come no matter what? Or are you just going to discount yourself immediately and not even try? Okay. Rena, I love it. Rena says, I've noticed all my worries lead back to the fear of death. I've been flipping my thoughts as much as possible. I'm always safe. Okay. Yeah, safety is such a big one for a lot of us. And okay, I'm going to take a Kyle. This is something from Kyle Cease. Okay. So if you want to know more about this, listen to Kyle Cease. Something he said, this is what I just heard in my head. So, Rena, we have a big fear of worry of death, which is understandable. Of all the times you've worried about dying, how many times has it happened? Obviously, I know the answer to that is 0, right? So, looking at that and realizing that, yeah, you will die one day. And that is scary to think about, maybe. Hopefully, maybe not. Maybe it's going to be peaceful and you won't even notice. Maybe it'll be at the right time when you feel completely fulfilled and it's quiet and peaceful. And kind of like making it okay, like, okay, I'm afraid of dying. That's totally fine and understandable. And what I'm going to do in the meantime is use my thoughts to describe safety and security and not death or worry or danger or, misfortune. And I'll do things in the 3D that, keep myself safe. I won't go bungee jumping and shark diving and, stick my hand in a fire ant colony and stuff. You know what I mean? So there's things you can do in the 3D and things that you can do energetically and mentally to deal with that, as well as making it like, you know what? It's totally understandable. Totally understandable to be concerned with my own well-being and survival. So I'm just going to make sure that I do that I use my thoughts to describe that, and then I'm not entertaining things that do the opposite. Elena says, I basically just ended up doing it for several days, and then I would forget halfway through the day and start over again the next day. It's better than nothing. Boss Vision says, I took a 30-day vacation and found out that 90% of my worries were for my corporate job. It's something about working in structure that gives me the urge to people please. Interesting. That's really interesting. So like authority, right? That's what I hear is authority. Anna says, I found that I worried a lot less once I started doing the daily self-love meditations and affirmations. Exactly. It helps so much. It really just like lessens all that crap in your mind. Elena says, oh, but it helped me realize I have so much less to worry in my mind these days. That's good. That's good. Medusa says, I realize one of the things I worry about, even when I'm not in danger, is men hurting me. So I told myself that not in my reality. Yep. I spent most of the day doing that, but it felt better than spiraling. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly the whole point. If you weren't doing that, you'd be spiraling and manifesting even more shit. But if you're fighting against it, or at least you're doing something to combat it, you're not just laying down and taking it, Medusa also says, also, fine, I'll manifest the money to go to Disney. Yes, Medusa's coming. Leanne, I love it. Leanne says, y'all, we can do this. Let's go to Disneyland. How would it feel if we booked our trip? How would it feel if we booked our trip? And I want to get shirts going too. So if I get shirts made, it'll make us feel more official. Tiffany says, stop worrying for 24 hours. The next day, life fell apart, but I kept flipping thoughts. Friday, I ended up unexpectedly being an assistant for Laylee from SWV. I saw that. Saw the show, met Tank and Key Sweat. First off, I saw that. Second off, you and Laylee look related. I was like, they look like they're like related or something. Like you guys look so much alike. Third of all, I saw your video. I was kind of a little bit jealous. I'm always a little bit jealous of your video in a good way because I love you so much. I'm like, how does she do this? And then fourth, I think what Kyle Cease would point out is that you stopped worrying for 24 hours, right? You did that. You stopped letting those worries dictate your story. And then the next day, your old story fell apart. Life didn't fall apart. Did life fall apart, Tiffany? Is your life apart right now or is your life motherfucking together? Are you alive? Am I talking to somebody? I'm talking to you, right? You're there. Your life did not fall apart, did it? It did not. Your old story fell apart. The one that would have worried way more than you allowed yourself to do, that person fell apart and fell off and crumbled away. Hopefully never to be seen again, maybe. But if they do, we'll come back. We'll give them love. And then what happened after that? You broke through to something that you didn't even know was a possibility. An experience for us 90s people that, you have crazy experiences already. That's even a step beyond what any of us would have ever expected, right? Like, that's what I see there. So, congrats, you did well. You did amazing, obviously. Besides, hello. Tommy says, Roxy, I realized being a 7. So Tommy's a 7, which is, he and I have had sessions. So I've talked to him about what being a 7 means, like more in depth. And by the way, the numerology stuff is coming. It's taking a little bit longer, but that's okay. It'll be there. Be ready when it's ready. 7s are very much in their head. They do a lot of worrying and conceptualizing, but not enough taking action when they're in their downfall, right? Like when they're to their detriment, they're overthinking and underdoing essentially. So if you're born on the 7th, the 16th, or the 25th, that would be like your kind of lot in life. So Tommy says, I realized that being a 7, my worries were all around taking action and consequences. So I'm currently journaling, addressing every area of my life I'm holding back in my mind and deciding to take inspired action with said scenario and area. Proud of you. You're doing so well. You got your lessons going. You're reading new books. You're opening up. You're just really doing a lot. And that's amazing. Very inspiring. Which he says, my biggest fear is having regrets on my deathbed. So I really hope you don't regret not going to Disneyland with us. I'm just kidding. You better go. Can't have that on your conscience. Besides, honestly, I don't want to work at all because no job or career resonates with me. I feel you. I feel the same way. I mean, a couple things do, like making music and things, but like I had to create my own thing. I had to make something out of nothing. So there's something out there that you enjoy doing, and there's a way to make it profitable. Brendan says, Nobody is my fave. Oh my God. You want to hear a funny story about Nobody? Okay. Nobody by Key Sweat. I used to have I had a crush on this guy in like 8th grade. And like at my school, they would put out this like directory and it would have like everybody's phone number in it. So like you could like literally just like call your crush and shit. And long story short, like I like finally got up the courage to like call this dude, this kid. I mean, he's a kid. He's probably like 13 at the time. And I had to like have nobody playing in the background because I knew he liked that song, and obviously like it has messages. And so like I played that song and like called him, and then he wasn't home or something, and then he didn't call me back. Or maybe he did answer and he was like, "Oh, I'm busy" or something. But anyways, do people still do that? Do they call their crush with a song playing in the background to influence? To influence? It didn't work. Oh shit. Yes, it is Valentine's Day. Oh yeah, the specific person workshop is on sale for the last just till today. It's the last day, so at midnight tonight. If you want to grab the specific person workshop for 20% off using code Valentine, that ends midnight PST. Denise, you're so sweet. It says, I know I'm late, but how do I get into the giveaway? We did it in the middle of the chat. So we'll be doing it again next month, and you got to be live to win it. And generally, we probably give away at like 2:30-ish PST. It's probably around the time we gave it away. Okay, so it's time for me to jump off. I want to give you homework for next week. Let's see. Okay. Blacklit chicks. This is bringing back memories of my middle school crushes, right? I don't know if you're the same age as me, but I will say that nobody was on the radio in a current song and single when I played it for that person. It was not like I was not digging into the archives. It was like the song of the now. Man, oh God, I loved Keith Sweat back then. And SWV, I loved SWV. I used to be in this little, me and my friends in my neighborhood had like a little like group, and we would like perform. We would perform week like for our neighbors and stuff. That's all. We were really cool. But my mom, like, I had the tape single, and I would just like play it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, what are we doing for homework this week? Okay, so our 24 hours of awareness on worries worked. I love that. I love that for you. But I really do, because when you see the source of the worry, it makes the worries that come up kind of what am I saying? I'm seeing like, let's say you had a cut on your arm and it was like dripping drops of blood on the ground. And all you were doing was focus on wiping up the drops of blood. It'd probably be really frustrating, and it might be a long-lasting job of trying to wipe up that blood and not realizing that if you go to the source and address the wound and make it stop bleeding, you don't have to clean up blood off your floor anymore. That's what all this is about, okay? That's what all of this is about. So when you're doing the worries, that's like realizing that worrying is like cleaning up drops of blood when you have a wound that's like bleeding, and you're not actually addressing the wound. You're just distracting yourself and letting yourself bleed out. So this is why being on top of our worries is very important, because if you're, again, entertaining it, you're wasting your time. You're making your wound worse and last longer. And I'm showing you this metaphorical wound. And last longer and avoid, and how do I say it? Be devoid of healing, not healed for longer. You're just making it worse. So oh my God, Autumn Star says perform the same song in a talent show in 4th grade. Yes. We're like the same kind of person. That's funny. Okay. All my 90s R&B kids. That was just the freaking music was just unmatched. Okay, I got to make it. I have to. I love you guys so much. I can't look at the chat because I'm getting distracted by all these other things. We want to talk about homework. Last week we talked about worrying. Somebody said something here that made me. Okay. All right. Here's what I want everyone to do. I want everyone to your homework this week is going to be a journaling session, okay? For homework this week, I want you to journal. And what you're going to do to journal is just get a piece of paper out. You can write this question at the top if you'd like, but basically just put pen to paper and let your writing spill out. Just let whatever pours out of your mind onto the paper without thinking, without judgment, and just write until you are kind of empty, right? So here's your first question. If I had absolutely nothing to worry about, what would be possible for me? If I had nothing to worry about, what would be possible for me? And then the next question you're going to ask yourself is, what do I think is standing in the way of that thing or living that life? So if I had nothing to worry about, what would I live? How would life be for me? After you answer that question, look at it and say, okay, now what right now is standing in the way? Whether it's physical, whether it's circumstantial, fear, worry, doubt, whatever. Write that down. That's your next question. And your third question, is going to be taking all of the things from answer question 2, sentence by sentence, and rewriting it, flipping each sentence in the positive version or the highest or best case scenario version. So it's a 3-part journaling prompt. Question number 1, if I had absolutely nothing to worry about in life, what would be possible for me? Question number 2, what is standing in the way of me living that life like right now? Like what's actually in the way? Circumstances, mental stuff, physical, whatever. And number 3, you're going to take all of those sentences from your second question, and I want you to rewrite them and flip them into the positive or best case scenario version. And from there, you're going to take your question number 1 and your question number 3 and start using that what do I want to call it, that perspective. Clump this together and make like this idea of who you are, who you want to be, and what your affirmations are going to be to combat your worries, doubts, and insecurities in the way. Okay? So once again, the questions are homework this week, 3-part journaling prompts, 3-part journaling session. Question number 1, if I had absolutely nothing to worry about, what would be possible for me? Question number 2, what do I think is standing in the way of living that life? And then number 3, take all of the things from question number 2, rewrite each one sentence by sentence into best case scenario or the positive version. And then the final part of that would be to take question 1 and the rewrite from 3 and make that your new perspective, your new focus, your new goals, where you place your attention, where you place your affirmations, what you do to combat your doubts. This is going to be a way to help you see past the circumstances. And just know that, like, again, all manifestations start with language. You don't have to believe it right away. It doesn't have to look true in your 3D reality right away. But I want you just to find some solutions. Like, let's look into some solution-oriented thinking versus problem-oriented thinking, okay? So yes, that's your homework for this week. I'm really excited. I'm really excited actually about this. I want to hear what you do. So come back next week and share. And like the earlier you do it in the week, the longer you have to see benefits of it before we get back together and talk about it. So like if you did it today or tomorrow, you'd have, the next 5 or 6 days to really implement and see what kind of changes are going on from this new perspective. Ooh, Tommy says, this homework is definitely why I felt I needed to be on today's call. Wow. Thanks, Tommy. That's awesome because you totally inspired it. So there, proven again, you were meant to be here. Leanne, oh my God, I love you, Leanne. Leanne says, question number 4, how would it feel if we all went to Disneyland together? That's your bonus question. That's your extra credit question. Well, I can't even say it. I can say it. Extra credit question. See how good I said it? Extra credit question. How would it feel if we all went to Disneyland together in May of this year? Because we just might. Jocelyn said I need this assignment as well. I need it too. I want to do it too. Leanne, will you text it to me? I want to do this too. I haven't done journaling in a while. I want to do some journaling. Jocelyn, we're trying to find a time to go to Disneyland. We're looking at maybe like the first couple weeks of May to Disneyland in Anaheim, California, not World. Alicia's coming. Alicia's coming. Witchy Wheels is coming. Everyone's coming. Tommy's coming. Witchy Wheels and Tommy, you guys can fly together. Be travel buddies. Then you guys are going to stop off in Rhode Island and pick up, who's over there? Oh, it's Alicia's that's over there, right? You're going to pick up Alicia. And you guys are all 3 travel together. And then you get to LA. And we're just going to be doing Disney. That didn't sound right. You know what I'm saying. All right. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. Don't forget to do your homework, please. And share it with us so we can see what kind of growth we're having from this. And just getting some of these doubts out of the way. Getting some of these misconceptions about what's possible for us out of the way. And just moving forward with our life. I love and appreciate you. We're all raising our vibrations together. You have the power. I believe in you. Sometimes I forget what my sign off is. That's